Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Mohit. I have one update for you guys. I have already uploaded two parts of my data science roadmap, which covers all the important skill sets and technologies you need to become data analyst or business analyst. Definitely for data science position, guys, there are more skill sets and technologies you need to cover, which I'll be uploading in upcoming days. So subscribe the channel if you have not subscribed yet. So that you do not miss out all the videos which I am going to upload, guys. Now to become data analyst or business analyst, guys, you can check out those videos and start following that roadmap so that in 2023 you can be a part of data science world. Now in this particular video, guys, I am going to share the typical steps which are involved in any data science project lifecycle. Right? So this video is going to help you to understand what kind of work and what kind of steps we actually follow on our day-to-day basis to complete our data science projects. Right? So let's get started, guys. Due to customer default. So now this was business problem which was identified, right? So what was the problem? Problem was to actually customer default. Now how we can solve this through the data science? We can build a model which can tell you, which can predict what is the probability that this customer will default, right? So now this problem is being solved through the data science. Now every company, every bank, before giving their loan to a particular customer, they have done all this modeling part. They will have the probability that this customer will default on a particular loan or not, right? So this is one example from finance. Let's take another example from retail. Simple example, let's say inventory management. Now you take a simple example of any company, guys, which is building the products. Now to manage their inventory, they have to be aware about the sales of the future, right? So now here we have a field of time series forecasting, which can help a company to forecast about the demand of a product in the future. It can be it can be like for tomorrow, it can be next 1 week, it can be next 1 month, next 3 months, right? So now when I was working in Siemens, I was doing this forecasting for next 3 months. When I was working in Infosys, I was forecasting the demand for next 1 week, right? So it depends on the business to business, but definitely through time series forecasting models like Serima, we can actually build model which can predict or forecast the demand of a particular product in the next future. Okay, so this is one retail management. Now if I talk about, let's say, recommendation system, now I am currently working on this particular part in the company, right? So simple example, simple problem is cold start. We have a lot of models to personalize the content for the user, like content based, collaborative. We have DNN models, deep learning based models, right? So now there is a problem for cold start. For all the users which are already in the already using the product, then we have a lot of models to personalize the content. But if a customer which is actually new to the platform, then we will not have enough data for the customer to understand the behavior of the user, what type of movies he prefers or he or she prefers, what kind of content he or she prefers, right? So all this data is not available because he is a new customer. Now for this problem we actually call it as cold start problem. Now for this we will not have enough data. Now what to do in this particular case? This is a business problem, guys. We want to convert them into a valuable customer, valuable user. But how can we do that if we do not have enough data to understand the behavior of the customer? For that we have our reinforcement models like contextual multi-armed bandit, or there are like DNN models, dropout net. All these models are actually being working in the market, guys. So this is another problem statement. Now always it starts from the business problem, guys. I hope this is clear. Now we talked about three different sectors and very common problem you will be able to relate, right? So now let's move to the second part, guys. always when you have a business problem, you will start collecting the data about the business problem, guys. Now if I talk about the first example which I told, customer default, now you will start collecting for that particular one, you will start collecting the data related to the customers. Now you can get the personal information like the demographic information, right? Or whether they have dependents or not, about their wealth, right? Or married or not. Then we have like loan, past loan or not, past history about the loan, right? So all these information you can collect about the customer. So this particular part we call it as data collection. Lot of time the data will be there in the RDBMS is stored for the customers, guys, right? So you can collect directly from the database and then you can start working on cleaning, manipulation and further steps. But sometimes you may have to collect, guys, like you have to collect data from different websites through web scraping. So it depends on your business problem, how whether you have the data or not, or whether you have to collect more data or not, right? So it's a data collection. Now once you have the data, second step is data cleaning, guys. 99% of the time, guys, you will have data noisy. It will be very messy. You have to clean that. So there are steps involved. This I have already told in another video also, right? So data science roadmap, you can watch that particular series, guys. There are two videos which I have already uploaded. So you just check those two videos in which I have talked about the basic skills required, and I have given the complete roadmap to become data scientist in 2023, guys. So you can check that out. So now data cleaning, like missing value treatment, if there are outliers, treat them. If there are some noisy values present in the variable, clean them, right? These kind of procedures or these kind of steps you have to follow to clean your data, right? So this is second step where we are collecting the data and cleaning the data. Now once we have our data set, guys, which we have already cleaned it, now the next step is about data wrangling, right? So this is a common word, guys, which we use for multiple tasks like data manipulation, right? It involves feature engineering, right? It involves data transformation, right? All these steps are involved in data wrangling, guys. So data manipulation, if let's say you want to perform joins on the data, two different data frames, you want to perform some aggregation, right? Like group by in SQL. Now after that, feature engineering, guys. In feature engineering, you will be deriving new variables. So what is feature engineering? You will be feature engineering is a step, guys, in which you derive new variables from the existing variables. Derive new variables, right? Now for example, let's say you have a date variable. Okay, let's say you have a date variable. From that date variable, guys, you can actually get the get lot of new variables, like what is the month. Let's say if you are performing a time series forecasting model, then seasonality can be a factor based on the month. Let's say you are forecasting the demand of umbrellas, simple example, right? So definitely it will be more in the month of July, August, September. So month matters in that case, right? Now if you have multiple years of data, then year can be your variable. Now you can get weekday or weekend, right? Weekend. So now from the date variable itself, you are getting multiple variables. This is nothing but feature engineering. Okay. Now next, data transformation. Like for linear regression model, guys, your variables has to be normally distributed, right? So now for that particular case, you may have to take log transformation, right? So log transformation, it actually removes the skewness present in the data, right? So sometimes you have to take the log transformation, sometimes you have to take the exponential transformation, sometimes you have to take just a square of a variable, right? So these kind of transformations, a lot of time we actually take. Okay, so these are the steps which are involved in the third part. Now in this, when you are actually performing these, guys, data visualization is also a step which is involved, where you are actually doing the exploratory data analysis, performing univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, multivariate analysis. All of those steps are involved in data wrangling. Okay, so I hope so far 3 steps. I hope these are covered. Identification of business problem, then collecting the data relevant to that particular problem, then cleaning it, and finally performing all these steps like data manipulation, feature engineering, data transformation. Right? Okay, now the fourth step is about model building, guys. Okay, so now like if I take example of the finance one, right? Customer default. So here what we want to do, we want to predict whether a customer will default or not. Either you can say 0 or 1 or the probability of defaulting on a particular loan, right? So let's take about this customer default 0 and 1. Now this is a classification problem, guys. In machine learning, this is a classification problem where we are predicting the categories. Now for this, there are a lot of models which you can build. You can use logistic regression, you can build decision tree, you can build ensemble models like random forest or boosting models like XGBoost or AdaBoost or CatBoost, any of those models. And then from the deep learning, guys, you can use ANN for this particular task also, artificial neural network. Right? So these are the different models which you can build. Now, which model will perform the best? Can you answer that question, guys? Write it in the comment section whether we can actually tell before building the model, can we tell whether how the model will perform and which one will be the best. Okay, read about the free lunch theorem. This is a task I am giving and then you will be able to answer it, guys. Okay, and write that in the comment section. So now for this particular problem, guys, we can build multiple models. Now, why multiple models? This answer you will get it from the free lunch theorem, guys. Okay, and if you do not get it, write it in the comment section. So model building is our fourth step where we identify which particular algorithm will be relevant to the business problem. Now the fifth step is model evaluation, guys. Now for model evaluation, it will depend what kind of algorithm you are building, whether you are solving a classification problem. Now for this particular case, we have like different metrics to evaluate our model. Like if I talk about accuracy, we have precision, we have recall, we have ROC, area under the ROC curve, right? So these are different algorithm metrics which we can use to evaluate the models. Now for the regression problem, we have again like different type of metrics like RMSE, root mean squared error, mean absolute error, right? R square, adjusted R square. So these are the different metrics out there to actually evaluate our model. So now in the fifth step, out of 4 or 5 models which you have built in the last step, you identify the best model. That's the whole agenda of this particular step, guys. Get the best model which is performing the best on your data set. Okay. Now the last step, once you have finalized your model, guys, the last step is the deployment, because the business person has to use it, right? Some way. Let's say for the first example where we were talking about customer default part, right? So now you have built a model which is giving, let's say, accuracy of 95%, 99%. Now how can you use that? So let's say a new customer is coming in the bank, that customer will provide the information and then it will tell whether I want a loan or not, right? So that customer will take, that business person will take a decision based on the prediction of that model, that whether we should give a loan to a particular to this customer or not. And another decision can be made based on the probability, guys, like how much loan should be given. Let's say if a user is asking for 10 lakh, maybe the probability of defaulting on 10 lakh is high, then rather than giving 10 lakh, 5 lakh they can give. So what they are doing, they are actually doing the business decision they are making out of the model, right? Again, very interesting step. Now for this purpose they have to deploy it so that people can use it. Now for this purpose, guys, you need to have like different skills. Like we can deploy our model on a particular website, right? So for this we can use Flask library from Python, or we can use Django library from Python. There are a lot of website frameworks which you can use to build the or to deploy your model on the website. Now you can now the most frequently used is the cloud services, guys, right? So we deploy our model on the cloud, maybe like on AWS or Azure or GCP, Google Cloud Platform, right? So but we can deploy it over there. Or there is another option is like having our model on a cloud service, and from there I'm actually hitting the API, right? So these are the different sources from where we can actually deploy the model, and I hope this particular part is clear. So these are the 6 steps which are involved, guys. Identification of business problem, data collection and data cleaning, then data wrangling, model building, model evaluation, and model deployment. So these are the 6 steps which are involved in any typical data science project life cycle, right? And I'm hoping that now these steps are clear to everyone, right? And there are different skill sets involved in every step of this project life cycle, which I will talk about in a separate video, guys. So I think this is clear to you guys. If you have any problem, just write it in the comment section, guys. If I have missed any step, you can write that as well in the comment section. And if you like the video, guys, subscribe the channel, like this particular video, and by that let's meet in the next video, guys. By then, stay tuned and keep learning.